committee meeting, and Tim, would you mind giving an indication on it?
5-1, thank you for having us here tonight. I'm sure it was our meeting. Please watch over. Just watch over our meeting tonight. Thank you.
Okay. The mayor emailed me that he won't be here tonight. Everybody else is here. All right, take a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Approval of the minutes from last meeting. Take a motion for that too.
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Public recognition. You got to miss an opportunity? Your husband's not here, huh? Okay. Report of the chair. I have no report. I'll discuss something later in discussion on whole business. We have no new business. Report of the road superintendent.
Well, the old business that we had discussed the last meeting, we had a lengthy dialogue about, Liberty Creek Elementary, the flashing lights and different things. And I put in the packet, I went back and rode through the project, and I really do think it was a good idea. If you look, there's a school zone ahead, and then if you look at attachment 1B, it's got the flashing lights on top and bottom, and it's a solar panel like the ones that are the flashing school zone lights on the Wolfpack Way.
Where's that at, 1B?
It's 1A. 1A is the sign on it, and 1B is the flash. It shows the flashing lights that are going to be on the top and bottom, and it's a solar panel, and they'll have LED lights around the edge of the sign. And we'll put that on a straight stretch before you get to the hill, before you get to the school zone, and it will be programmed in conjunction with the flashing lights on the roadway. So literally people can look going up Latimer and look down that straight stretch. If they see that sign flashing, they know on the other side of that hill, there's some school zone traffic.
Now, are those going to be provided by us or by the school?
I'm going to put this in. I feel like it is something that was outside the construction zone for the project, and I feel like from a safety point of view, and it being a county road, I just went ahead and done it because I feel like it's outside the construction zone. It's my call.
But you're going to have a transfer request or anything from that?
No. And it's something that we can do it all. We've already ordered the sign, and we'll put it up and program it and do everything ourselves in-house. So the cost of the sign is pretty much it. There'll be a little bit of labor in it, but not much.
About $3,000 something.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I want to
Stay with that point there. I want to
make it very clear, and I appreciate you caring about the safety of the kids and so forth. But every other school zone sign in this county is a responsibility of the school, not of ours. And I run into that problem at Oakmont and North Sumner both. Oakmont, state highway, TDOT, they don't cover it.
Well, I would say I'm supposed to eat lunch with Scott in the next couple of days, our director of schools, and I'm pretty sure that if I invoiced them, I would think, if I talked to him about it, they would probably pay for it. I just haven't got to that point yet.
Now, are you able to program them, or will it be on the same?
No, I can program this, and I'll just set it to the same time that's set on the others. They're not linked or anything. It's just, you just set the time up on the board.
Go ahead, Jim.
want to ask a quick question on this, and then I have a motion after that, but, is it okay if I talk? I just had a citizen reach out to me, kind of last minute. I sent some things to Tim, and it's pertaining to this, same thing. And, they sent a picture and a couple of things. I wanted to just read it to y'all just because it came in kind of late. It's not a new item. It's still the same thing, but I just wanted to make sure that it was recognized. And so like, this gentleman, the citizen sent it to me, and he said, Hunters Lane entering, he said, here we go again. So he said, Hunters Lane entering Liberty Creek Elementary at approximately 2:25 p.m. today. He said the right lane going into the school is cleared, but parents won't use it, instead filling up left turn lane, continuing around Hunters, because once inside, they have to turn left into elementary school parking lot. I know it's a little weird to follow, but we can go through this. And then thereby leaving residents no other choice except to drive on wrong side of street to get to their homes. I believe this could be easily remedied with some traffic direction, but it seems Sumner County is too cheap to spend money for the safety of its citizens. Just reading it as is. It's one thing for our county officials to not care about traffic gridlock, but when public safety is ignored, that is a whole different matter. We really do appreciate the flashing yellow light that was recently installed, but obviously not much else has changed. I would have taken more pics, but I was busy maneuvering through oncoming traffic, as were others on this road. Thanks for reading it. So the main thing I was going to show you is like this one. This is just, it's hard to see. It's just one picture. So like right there. And so Tim, you see that, brother? But this is where it kind of gets a lot better. Like it kind of shows, and you'll see how it's backed up. Can you kind of see what's going on there? I'll show you.
I actually printed something out after you sent that to me,
Oh,
that will
thank you.
show people. But if I could jump in front of you, I want to clean up something that he was saying to finish that one off and then go into this, because it's a little bit different. I like what Toby did with the signs. I think they're desperately needed, but to keep things clean, last month, we stated for the record that all school zone signs were the responsibility of the school, and they always were. By doing what we're doing, we're kind of muddying the waters a little bit. $3,000 is piddly compared to this county's budget, but to keep it clean, I would like to see them invoiced for that, whether or not you put them up or whatever. I think they need to be the responsibility of them going forward.
That's not a big deal. I mean, I just had to order the sign.
Yeah,
Get it going.
I want you to do this with it, once you get it all up there, and make it their responsibility, but I want an invoice so that, going back and looking at the record, it is, like you said, it's always the school's responsibility. And that brings up the question, since they're not linked, who's going to go up there and turn it off during vacation and Christmas and things like that, when all the other signs out of school session is turned off? Will that be the responsibility of you or them? I want it to be them, and just registered as another school sign. If you got some input on that, on how it's done now, that may help.
If I'm not mistaken, Tony, doesn't it say speed limit and so forth when school is in session?
But the flashing.
It's got the 15 mile an hour speed.
Right, in session though, doesn't it?
In session, yeah.
Okay, because I know sometimes, even the ones there at North Sumner on 174, whenever we're out for a holiday or a snow day, they come on automatically. They're pre-programmed, nobody has to turn them on or off anymore. They come on at a certain time and go off at a certain time.
But a certain time of year also, or certain
No,
time of day?
when school is out, they turn them off.
Yeah.
Somebody goes
Yeah,
up and puts them
somebody
off.
goes and turns them off.
That's what I'm saying. Is that gonna be the highway department have to go up there since you installed them? That's what I don't want to happen. I think they should have to go up there and turn them off.
Yeah.
Because it's just like an impact of a developer doing to a community. We want impact fees for what they did to the community. We want them to be responsible for what they did to the community by putting the school there. And it just cleans everything up and makes them own the whole process, the whole project. So when they turn off all the other school zones, they turn off that one too. They just kind of adopt it.
And,
You did it for them,
yeah.
because it came up in committee.
Can I make a motion?
No,
I
that
wouldn't
be a
think
problem.
It says actually when flashing, so
Yeah.
not when school's in session, but that's why we need to get them to stop flashing
Yeah.
at the right time. If that's a conversation you can have with
Yeah,
Mr. Langford,
it's not a big
Mr.
deal.
Langford, go ahead.
You think this is something do we need to make an official motion, you
Can you
think?
just ask and
I don't think so.
just give us a report on how it went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
And to talk about the traffic flow, I mean, you know, instead of people coming down Hunter's Lane and getting in the turn lane, and then they're saying they're taking their life in their own hands to come into head-on traffic, I get that. But if they're on Latimer Lane, they've just got to go up one more road. Mount Olivet Road heads over to Hunter's Lane as well, and so does Sandy Valley. And I don't know where they're going on the outside. Some of them may be going out that way, but I mean, the thing is, it's about 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the afternoon. And so if you know you're in that round, you could easily just kind of go up the road just a little bit further, turn right, and you don't have to fool with it.
So, the thing, does anyone, oh, sorry, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does anyone know we're not at capacity of those
Because
schools, right?
I talked to the sheriff, and they don't have the manpower to cover them. They've got 27 more schools, and if they did this one, they'd have to do them all, and they don't have the personnel to do it.
So, I think my worry is with us not being at capacity, like, I mean, I've heard we're pretty far under, I don't want to
Here's the
quote it.
capacity. I got it.
And I've stated this, this is not really under, we're all trying to help because we're good people, but this is really not under our jurisdiction. This is something that it's the schools.
Liberty Creek Elementary is just over 2/3 full. The middle school is just over half full, and the high school is just over 1/3 full. So there's a lot of room to grow in that
And you know
area.
what we did last year, the last 2
That's
years?
huge.
Me and Jamie has went out there, and the sheriff worked the traffic for 2 to 3 weeks, got everybody kind of used to it, and then they never did it the rest of the year, and we never got any calls. And so it's always been at the first of the year where people are just, you know, for a second.
One, like you stated, I know there, Oakmont, North Sumner, just about every school in this county. Whenever school gets out, within about 15 to 20 minutes, whether you're first in line or last in line, your child is in the car and gone, and traffic flows.
Yeah.
I have farmers that come down through there,
Yeah.
174 and North Sumner Road.
That's right.
And I've explained to them, you know, guys, if you don't want to be involved in this, you know, whenever we get out of school, wait 20 minutes to come up through there.
Right.
So,
I can't have a farm truck on my own job.
Yeah.
so capacity is 3,400 kids, and we're presently at 1,749. So we're at half.
Of the three,
Three combined schools is 1,749 kids right now, and the capacity would be 3,400, which a large group of them would be roughly 1,000 more students at the high school, would be the majority of those. A lot of those could be drivers. Go ahead.
so my worry about it, and this is something that's been worrying me all along since citizens have been so worried about it, is I know that it's an inconvenience and it's just like part of it's like labor pains. I know that we've said that, I get it. But the worry is I think it's one of the best performing schools traffic-wise out of the county, but that it's going to quickly, if we put an influx of that many more students, once they get the capacity very soon probably, because, I mean, if it's not driven by new homes, then it'll be driven by rezoning, you know, because, I mean, they're going to use the seats, I'm sure. I don't know, I can't speak for any behalf of that, but it just makes sense.
But it's really a topic for the Board of Education.
Oh, it is, but my worry is that if it's not figured out, then we're going to be, it'll be the worst traffic in the county of any school, because it's just, you know, if we're backing up right now, it's kind of normal for schools to back up. It's going to go drastic amount. I agree, it's a Board of Education issue, but on the other hand, it's like, I think it's our duty to bring it up because it's folks driving in on 2 lanes, coming into that area, and that's county.
It's going to change. It's going to keep changing. And I think the sign will help where people can see it to where, hey, I need to go up one more road. I don't want to fool with that.
So, let me get mine in the queue real quick. I want to explain this. After you sent that to me, I printed these things up. And so what the problem is that he's showing on his phone picture is, if you look right here, you can follow on your own map, but this is coming from Latimer Lane down here. They're coming up, and what they're trying to do, this is the school up here, the elementary school. They're coming up, and there's a turn lane right there where those double X's are. That's the turn lane right in the middle, and then the through lane is on the right. They're coming up, and they're getting in this turn lane. Well, what they're doing with so many is they're getting in the turn lane to get into the turn lane. Well, that turn lane is for this going to Hunter's Lane that way. They're getting in this turn lane and then going through the intersection and gridlocking up the intersection. But granted, 10, 15 minutes, pick up 10, 15 minutes in the afternoon, everybody that's trying to come home has to wait in this entire line because they can't turn left when that lane should be completely empty. And my suggestion was, yes, this lane right here is left turn only. This lane is through, and then you get in the turn lane over here. So if you put some kind of obstruction here, whether it be an island or a bollard or something like that, and make it to where these people have to go through the intersection before they get over, that would fix people from getting in this lane and going through the intersection in the turn lane. That would be a simple fix to alleviate this turn lane for people that are truly just wanting to go home. That's got to be a point of frustration, sitting 15 minutes of traffic every single day for no reason at all.
And that right there,
when nobody's in front of you that's turning left.
That right there is what is different from any other school in the county, because that's actually, they're just driving through it illegally. You know, I mean, that's all it is, and that's where the issue is. That's different from like traffic at the beach or traffic at Station Camp. There's nobody else having that issue, I don't believe.
People are breaking the law by crossing this intersection because they're not paying consideration to the people that live to the left. They're going in and getting in line early, because if they don't, these people here are going to turn and get into that lane, so they're getting in there early, and that's all because there's no crossing guard there.
And what people
and they don't put crossing guards a lot of times at county schools on here. Cities provide that from city police departments.
Well, here's the problem. This is a drive lane.
Yeah.
That lane's got to stay open.
Needs to stay open.
So you can't block this because
no,
that's the
you
turn
can
lane.
block that. You didn't listen to what I said.
Yeah, I did, but I mean, that's why I said if we did have a presence out there directing traffic, it does make
Toby,
it better.
listen, I'm saying block it only right where the first X is.
with like a little,
Only one. You could put a stick in the middle of the road.
it'd probably be safer to put like a curved little, flower pot or
A
something.
median. You could put a median right there, a 3-foot median that they're gonna have to drive over it in order to cheat.
Yeah.
Everybody in this left-hand turn lane would have to get back in the right lane to go around that stupid little median, then get in like they're supposed to.
This is the big danger. I'm sorry, can I say something?
Well, what's happening is people are going around here, they're way back here in line, and they're crossing over
Coming way back.
into oncoming traffic to come up here and turn, because they're frustrated and wanna go home. They're tired, they wanna go home. They don't
Well,
wanna
that's
sit
what I'm
and
saying.
stand in line.
If you put something there at an island, you're going to have the turn lane blocked and then the.
Why would it matter?
Show me where the
Well,
turn around to be blocked.
Why would it matter?
He's saying put an island here to keep people to where they have to go around, and so they can't back up across this intersection. Then you're gonna have the outside lane blocked, because people's just gonna come around it and come up through here, and then they'll be waiting in the drive lane.
So they're blocking a
I see what
different
he's saying.
lane?
Yeah, they're blocking the outside lane all the way through, and now nobody can even get through.
he say right here.
So it would be a frustration, everybody going to school.
You know,
That truly makes it a school problem, not a community problem.
that's the reason I said the 15 minutes in the morning, if people went a different route, it wouldn't be a problem.
You can't educate all those people though.
That's not gonna help.
We wouldn't need traffic signals for everybody to be nice and let each other go and
Yeah.
turn, but we can't educate
You're
everybody.
gonna have to be.
We could
But
do handouts
you
in
can't-
school to give
You
them
can't
that.
block the outside lane. You can't block this
Why
lane.
not?
Because that's a right of way. I mean, the traffic's gotta flow through there.
Toby, this is a right of way too. Traffic's gotta flow here.
I know.
It would truly be making it a school problem if we put the onus on them. Then they would probably put a traffic patrol person out there saying you can't block this intersection.
Well, I've talked in
Because now
depth
you're
with,
pushing it on down the road to the schools.
Cause that makes it not a county problem, it makes it
It makes it a
school
city problem.
It's a school problem.
I mean, school problem, yeah.
Do y'all
It's
see
either
where
that or
we're
a signal, but then a signal, they're still not gonna pay attention necessarily. They still may block it up through a red light.
I
I
actually,
think a crossing guard is really the only thing you can do.
and, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really do understand their frustration, because like, okay, if I'm sitting in traffic at any other school, I'm just in traffic because there's school traffic going in that pattern.
Everybody's going to the same
And
location.
so even though it stinks, that's like, it's still lawful. But then here, folks come up here, that's how they're supposed to be here and then get over here. But what happens, they don't get over here, they get over here. And then people start getting over here and it's like 2 lanes backed up. And then they're coming from way back, coming around and just taking their life in their own hands is what they're saying. And coming up and then turning here and coming around. And so I think that,
They're going on a head-on traffic.
Yeah.
They're going to the.
They're-
that's what I said, they're coming this way because they're trying to come across, that folks are in their
They're
lane.
probably looking across the corner, seeing nobody coming, they punch it and try to get around that corner
That's right.
before somebody appears.
Yeah.
But we're truly taking on their problem with our county people getting frustrated about it. Something has to be done, and so we may have long meetings and stuff, and I don't intend on having one tonight, but this is called planning. This is what other commissions should be doing, looking ahead at problems that may rise up. This probably is going to get worse. Everybody knows it's going to get worse when we double the population of all these schools. And it is their problem. But in 3, 4, 5 years, whenever they are at capacity, who's to say they're going to pay for it? It will become a county problem at that point in time. Go ahead.
Okay, so, talking about planning, all of these things have been discussed for years. Before that school was built, when it was thought about and all of that, all of these things were brought up to the director of schools and the county mayor, and they said, we'll fix it later. So that's where we are, and you're exactly right with poor planning.
A lot-
3 years ago.
A lot of
4
these
years ago.
people come
Yeah.
from the city schools, which the cities, they have people out that flag the traffic.
That fixes a lot.
And
So does B.
if we had money in the budget at some point to where they could hire more people to do this, and that would handle this.
They should put crossing guards in their budget every year.
Beach has someone flagging it, and they're out in the city.
Really.
Beach is probably the worst one in the county.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree, Commissioner Holmes.
Just another thought. Okay, so the city of Gallatin expanded their urban growth boundary a small tiny bit to that school so that they could provide city services to the school. So, I mean, do they have anybody that would provide a crossing guard? I mean, that is kind of a service. They expanded that for that reason.
That's a good
Just a
point.
thought.
Could y'all reach out to somebody on the board,
School board?
school board?
For this, this just came to me. and
Yeah, to talk about
Sure.
Stephen King had.
maybe some financial help for the
Yeah,
schools
I
to
think
do
that's a
this.
great idea.
It's, we don't need to be helping them. They need to be looking within their budget and make this happen, I think. Because a crossing guard, to me, is the simplest solution.
Well, I think it's the most effective.
It's the most effective and the simplest solution because it prevents people from locking up that intersection, prevents them from getting in the turn lane early. You know, they could stand there preventing them from getting in that turn lane. But, so
Well,
another,
I know the sheriff don't have enough personnel.
Right, and that wasn't,
Yeah,
that's why I said
I know
it's a
that.
different angle, you know.
but it could be an off-duty Hendersonville person or something that comes out there or something on their time off or whatever. I don't know, they could come up and create a solution. But I have another solution that I want to propose too, that may be something that would be easier, and it could be also in the discussion with Director Langford that you may put on schedule to talk with him about to prevent this from coming through highway. So I noticed the pattern at Beach Elementary School. If anybody's ever gone to that school and seen the way parents come in off of Long Hollow Pike, they turn into the beach, parking lot, and then they turn immediately right into that first lower level parking lot. And they proceed through that one, they S-curve back through this one, and they S-curve back through this one, and then they go and drop their kid off. They get everybody off of Long Hollow Pike that they can and get them into their parking lot as a staging area to clear the main road. Liberty Creek Elementary School has 241 parking places. I have no idea why. They don't have that many teachers. I guess it's for parents' night or something.
Case
It's huge.
elementary students drive.
They have so much room in their parking lots. If they would reroute their drop-off pickup lines by creatively bringing them in and coning something off in the morning or painting some new stripes to go a different direction, they got lots of room to stage cars in that parking lot and get them off of Wolfpack Way. They got lots of property to alleviate Wolfpack Way and Hunter's Lane.
I think I know why there's traffic, rather than parking lots, probably because of like school assemblies and stuff like that.
Still, Whitten Elementary has probably 60, 70,
Yeah.
and people park on the sides, but that's just a lot of parking places. I'm just saying, they've got the means to be able to fix it, but they are looking at their world, which is school grounds, and we've got a problem outside of school grounds. Thus, we're dealing with it with a sign on down the road. We're dealing with it with a traffic problem outside of the school zone, out of the school area. So if they knew about the problem, they may be able to come up with a easy solution by staging cars and getting them off of Wolfpack Way, off of Hunter's Lane.
I will say, you will be surprised how much this sign I'm gonna add is gonna help. When people are on Latimer and they look to the right down there, I'm not going that way.
Is it before where they can change
I'm
direction?
gonna put it back far enough to where they can see it, to where they know.
There's an option to turn a different way at that point?
Well, they just keep going straight. They can just pause and go, oh, I don't wanna go that way. That's what I'm gonna try.
No, at the flashing light though, they can turn off of Hunter's Lane and go somewhere else?
Well,
You're putting on
Latimer, yeah.
Okay.
If they're coming up Latimer off Long Hollow Pike, they look down the venue.
They can break
They
left
can,
and go
they can
somewhere
see
else.
it and just keep going straight. And then Mount Olivet is just up the road a little bit, and they can turn right and go right to Hunter.
Well, I hope so. Blocking that turn lane is a problem. We need to address it. The school's causing problems in other parts of the community needs to be addressed, and that's what I think our job is with planning and adopting roads for the future. We're taking on other people's problems, and I think having some foresight to know what's coming, that's our job. I think that's our only job here, is having foresight to plan ahead. There's also a lot of busted up curbs from construction, a couple different places on Wolfpack Way that need to be fixed before that road is adopted. But I want to keep that on old business just for this reason, so that we can see what conversations are had. And, you had a question, I want to go ahead and just hear before I conclude.
Yeah, absolutely. So Toby, let's go back to the specifications on that signage. So is this the company that you're getting this from? Is it that something like we have a PO with them? Is that who we buy?
That's who we buy a lot of signs.
Do we have a sign shop?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Because I was looking at this sign, that's a small sign, a 24 by 24. Typically, you'd have a 30 by 30.
Well, it's with the solar light, and then the flashlight above it, and the flashlight, it's a big deal, but the sign just kind of brings the flashing lights, and then it's got LED lights all around it. You're gonna see it. I've got some that, and it's out there on Upper Station on the other side where there's a turn for Liberty. They're very good.
But that's who we do, typically who we get our
We
signs from,
have,
custom products.
yes.
Have we looked at other ones, or we just have a PO with them?
What are you trying to get at?
Like Vulcan signs, like that, probably not.
We go after the best price.
Okay.
And it's actually cheaper to buy them than build.
Yeah, we've got some that we build that are specialty, and then we do all of our street signs.
So, you good?
Yeah.
So, is that something you're willing to talk to Director Langford about also, the traffic pattern, maybe pulling cars in off of Wolfpack to try to alleviate some of that buildup out there instead of, I think there's a short line to get to the front door. Instead of making a long line to get to the front door.
I know there's some changes they have already made, and y'all probably not seen the goodness of it, but I know they changed some of the traffic into a couple of schools. I think it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it really helped. Because we went out there, I met with him and his transportation guy, and it was the middle school, and I think they were looking at the elementary school too. So
Well, I can just tell
they're working on it.
I can just tell from the picture that, Commissioner Teacher provided, that was last week. And so, whatever's happened may be better, but we're still tying up the turn lane that's not supposed to have cars in it. And until we can fix that, we got a problem that's not our fault as a county. It's a school issue that we need to address somehow. They either need to address it or we need to address it. You're next. Go ahead.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just ultimately, I think everybody pretty much agrees we want it to be not too long of a drive for everybody. I mean, it's gonna be good for the schools, good for the county, it's all county citizens. You know, what I mean, if there's a way to do it where it's not any extra money or cost to
But
anybody.
me and you probably were out there 4 times, and it was 15 minutes each time.
I know, but what I'm worried about is whenever it expands, that's what gets really worrisome.
I don't want 3 months from now to be, or 3 years from now to be, whose issue is it to fix it?
The signage we need in here, irregardless.
Yes.
And hopefully that will help with the traffic. At least we can give it a shot.
Right.
How many cars can we stack up permanently, you know?
It's probably on the upper side. It's probably around 8 to 10, and then you can go back a little further.
You, from, on this side? It's closer, like,
No, it's
on this side?
Yeah.
that looks like 5 or 6. I know on this side you got about 20, I think, 20,
But
25,
that's
right?
where we don't wanna stack up on this other side though.
Right.
Right, we want
Right.
0 here. But, and that's fine, as long as we keep everybody out of it. We just gotta figure out how to keep them out of it.
Well, if they could come down to the other side and go in, and come in from the lower side, it's not an issue at all.
Right.
The lower side meaning,
The school's right here, come in from the other side, the whole other side.
oh,
From,
the other side of Wolfpack.
from
Yeah.
Upper Station,
The other side of Wolfpack on Upper
Yeah.
Station.
Yeah.
that's not, I mean, there's a lot of room there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so, again, in the conversation with Director,
That's what I'm
maybe it's
saying,
like
when you-
hand out
when you-
maps to the
When you
parents.
come in
saying,
from that side and then people are passing this road to go around, it literally, we're talking 15 minutes, guys. It's one of the best school zones in the county is what they told me.
15 minutes for me to go home when they're taking my lane to go home would infuriate me every day.
Yeah.
That's years off of my life I'm thinking while I'm sitting there waiting while they're in my lane and have no business being there.
But if you drove up the road, you're not feeling that way.
We talking about people going home?
You're going up Latimer Lane, turning right on Mount Olive, and then you're at home.
Why don't we just erase all these lanes and make it a double lane from Latimer all the way up, because that's the way it's being used. We're gonna do it right or we're gonna do it wrong. I'm not up for doing it wrong. I mean, we either enforce it or don't.
I'm just worried somebody's gonna get hit head on right here. That's what I'm really worried about.
Well, if we take this off the whole business, that's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna be before this committee again, talking about how somebody got hit. It'll be their fault, but it'll be out of frustrations.
Right.
I just think, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, I want you to think about it and have those discussions if you can while you're talking to them about the other thing. And if, maybe y'all can come up with another option that's even
Well,
better. I'm not gonna make us come up with a
Why
solution
don't you
tonight.
get involved in it too? Because I know you're really concerned about it. You need to be involved in it as well.
All right, I mean, I'll talk to them too.
Absolutely.
I know you're gonna be talking to them about, invoicing for that fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'll reach out and see if there's something we can do for that. And maybe it's as simple as, handing out alternative routes to parents that are tired of getting backed up, and they can come in
I
from the
know
other side of
when-
Wolfpack, but the
Yeah.
drivers going home is the ones I'm more concerned about.
We were
Because this is not an education committee, this is a highway committee.
timing the people that was going in and dropping their kids and when they're cycling through. The elementary school was around 10 minutes, the middle school was around 15 minutes.
But Toby, what we're worried about though is not, I mean, yes, that
People that don't even have kids.
But I'm just saying, when we're over here and there's not, when more planes are taken and it shouldn't be. If it were just this lane, and that's how it was, it would just be how it is.
Yeah.
But with them over here, there's just gotta be a way to redirect it, you know, 'cause it's just moving, just helping folks see the difference, 'cause I don't think they realize it. They come up on it quickly and they get over here to go straight. I don't think it's anybody's fault. And I don't think anybody's like, you know, saying that. And
Well,
I just don't want them
I
driving
think most of
against
the people
traffic.
coming down that way in the morning is people that are gonna drop their kids off.
Perhaps another sign here that says do not block intersection, right here. Yep, there you go. It's like, right there.
Yeah, have it right there.
Yeah. 'Cause
Like
it's
right here in this little
it's a
sandy
win-win
dirt area.
if we
Yeah.
get it
You know, it's against the law to block the intersection, but to,
It needs a reminder.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
basically pointing at somebody, you're the one doing it right here, buddy. You know, and maybe perhaps then you could put the bollard in there or the island in there to make it to where people have to go around it. That will clear this up. These are cheap fixes. And I know it's pushing the problem on down the road, but it's pushing the problem towards the responsible party. And this committee is not the responsible party for it, it's the school's issue. So, anyway, I don't wanna keep going, like I said, we'll just leave it on old business.
Have them up in 2 more weeks.
I'll check with my guy. They vary. I ordered some cones today, and we'll probably have them a couple of days. The signs with the solar lights usually take a couple of weeks.
You still got one to pay.
Yeah.
Can you email everybody when those signs are up? That way we can notice if anything's changed, like you said.
Sure.
If citizens start commenting that things are better, or we can reach out to some of the ones that have been hollering and say, hey, is it any better? All right, I know we interrupted your report, so keep on going. You were at the paving discussion.
Okay. And then I was, the second, thing listed, you'll see I've got a paving list. That's about 18 months worth of work. What we've done so far, we have done somewhere around 16 miles of road since July 1st, 15 to 16. And, we are, we're gonna need a little bit more money to finish the year out. I feel like, going to budget and asking for the $3 million that we had discussed earlier would finish my year out and get me close to somewhere in the vicinity of my 50 miles that I'm trying to do each year to keep up with the maintenance effort. We've got a little over $1 million still left, but I feel like once we get through November, October, and part of November, we're going to be really close to being out of money for the asphalt.
When does asphalt shut down around here?
December 12th.
Tim, we have fluctuated in the last 4 or 5 years. What happens is you still have them 60-degree weeks in December and January.
Crank it up.
And what Rogers Group has done with me is they've rotated their maintenance on their asphalt plants to where if we do have good weather, they start up. And what I try to do is I try to do spot paving on roads that I'm prepping for the spring then. I'm not doing full depth or full paving projects, but it's something that we're getting things ready for the spring. And it's something that you can, like I said, we paved in December and January, and then a week and a half later, it was 20 degrees, you know. We went from 60 to 20.
Are they running the hot mix asphalt out of that plant?
Which one?
Out of that Rogers plant, the hot mix?
Yeah. They run, what do you mean?
More, I think it adds like 7 more degrees to it to where you can pave the hot mix asphalt.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
they used to run the cool mix, you know, where you sprayed the asphalt when it come out, and it was a mixture to where the asphalt, you didn't have to get the plant as hot, and you didn't have to heat it up as much, and it stayed hotter longer, but it was at a cooler. You didn't have to get it up so high. Now, they did make that, Now, what we've got coming, and we do a e-mix route every day, and then we use binders, and then like on our state aid roads, we use our D-mix. But, we're bumping 325, 350 when he comes out, and we're hauling.
But for the, I guess the HMA, the hot mix, that's all, I think it usually like an extra 7 degrees if it's cooler, kind of gives you that extra temperature to light.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
You just gotta be careful, because you can burn the liquid AC out of it at a certain temperature, and when he comes out like that, you might, we send it back, you know what it looks like, it turns that brown color. But it's something I'm very proud. Once we got through the season of the flood season, we've gotten most everything repaired. We're still cleaning out culverts and ditches, but we got all of our bridges cleaned up, all the debris picked up and burned, and then all the roads put back that were totally washed out. We had several roads over there at Liberty Creek, we couldn't even cross the bridge over there by your house. And Tim called me one day. It was flooding so bad. I said, well, not only can they get through here, they can't cross the bridge either. So we had certain sections of county roads that there were sections that were 50 to 100 foot long, that the road was in the cornfield. It's like God picked it up and set it in the cornfield. So it was a weird time. So
Y'all did an amazing job.
it was a lot of work, and it's not me, it's my team. They're amazing. I got great crews, but I feel like this is just information. I just want to be transparent and let you know that's what I want to talk to the budget committee about.
Do we need any kind of motion to send it to budget, or is this gonna go to budget anyway?
That's Eric. I guess my question is to you, does that need a motion to send it on?
Just so everybody knows, as part of that 20 million, I think that we already appropriated for him for future, they're gonna get into that bucket.
I didn't think so since it was already set aside, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you hear you, I mean, what's it gonna hurt?
Just go ahead and, okay, I'll make a motion.
We can't.
Yeah, let's discuss, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Well,
Well, I'll make the motion to send it, and then we discuss.
okay.
So send it on to budget.
Okay,
Second by Commissioner Harrison.
okay, so, can I,
Yeah, yeah.
can I ask, so if it's not in the 20 million, where is it?
No, it is.
No, it is.
It
It
is
is part of that 20
Okay.
million
part
he's
of
asking to
it,
get in.
but I have to come back and ask.
Okay,
these
okay.
things.
He
Yeah, you have it.
I thought you said you thought it wasn't, I thought, oh no, where is it? Because I don't think we got a whole lot in
The
there.
3 million should get me to the end of June, I
Okay,
feel
yeah.
like.
Okay.
And then if they wanted to give me 4 million, I could sit there and maybe contract something out. I'm still going to probably do a bid for a contractor to come in and do a few things, but it's just, we'll just have to see how it goes. But I feel like with the roads that we've got coming up, I could get to the end of June, that'd be a blessing.
I've got one other thing too.
Wait, go ahead, please. Right, is there a question?
Staff.
I'm doing better than I've ever done on staff. And it's, well, I'll just say, it's because the commission gave me some money for raises, and it has made a tremendous difference in our morale, attitudes, and now I'm not looking for people. People are coming, I'm getting a list of people that want to come work at the highway department. And so that's a real blessing. I should say more about that, so thank you very much.
And everybody on Hampshire says that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, so that Anderson Road that you and I discussed that time to where I think the developer was supposed to overlay it, it's getting pretty bad now. I've caught a couple of vehicles going over into the opposite lane just to avoid to where the pavement is just falling apart.
I reached out to,
Is that on our list?
it is, what it is, it's the developer is maintaining the road because they're the ones tearing it up. So they've come in and repaired it and fixed it twice. It's due to do that again.
Sorry, the reason I'm asking is if it's on our list of the ones you're asking to pave, we'll discuss it. If not, can we talk offline so we can get the next committee meeting going? Is that something we can talk about offline?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll just say that the developers
We got 3 more meetings.
and they're getting it fixed, so.
To your point, if it's not on the agenda, we shouldn't be anyway.
I was doing it the kind way, but if he's gonna be like that, then.
Don't be like that.
Like that.
Go ahead, Superintendent. The rest of your requests, or do you have more?
No, that's it.
Okay, the mayor's not here. One item left on the agenda. Motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
So I'm approved, you got a budget?
Yes. Oh, did we vote on that?
Did we vote on that officially?
No.
We didn't vote on that.
We need to vote on that.
Motion reconsider. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're back in session. On the motion to send the budget, do we have a second on that? Commissioner Harrison, seconded it.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, now, motion to adjourn.